Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you join us from. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again. I don't take this for granted. Shout out to Jacob Tajay and the NTZ crew for everything y'all do. Thank you to my old heads. There's Steve and Ellie, Doubtful Genius. Thank y'all for your support. All of my members that joined the channel. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate that. There's Golden Gate. What's up, brother? Appreciate you, man. 53 Shades Darker. Any new viewers and subscribers watching today, welcome. And also, anybody catching this on replay. The Peso is 57.27. It's staying pat, man, you know. It's not going down. What's up, Roger Walker? That's W Secrets to Success. I mean, really, we become spoiled over here with that. Remember I said I'll be happy if it stays above 50. Man, if it went down to 50, man, I'd be sick. I ain't gonna lie. What's up, Mike? You know, we always got a topic. Today's topic comes right out of the comments. It says, are you getting what you expect from your relationships? Not just romantic relationships, all relationships with your children, your family, your friends, your co-workers, but, you know, specifically romantic relationships, because the last video I made that I uploaded this morning, the very first comment that I got was, isn't communication important? I said, yeah, but that's not high on the list of what we're looking for over here. Hell, we can't even really understand the languages over here. Is communication important? Absolutely, yes. But the fact of the matter is, most men are afraid to ask for what they want. So we're looking for a woman that's a man reader. It's impossible. So a lot of us are unhappy in our relationships, all of our relationships. But I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself. I want to shout out the U.S. men's basketball team for winning the gold medal. I'm still an American, guys. I just live over here. I mean, to be honest with you, I got tired of working. I don't know about anybody else. 38 years officially paying taxes and still paying, but I'm saying 38 years in the workforce, that was enough for me. I've been working longer, really, but I'm talking about where they're taxing my money. I just got tired, but man, I really felt proud seeing Steph Curry hit those clutch shots, man. I mean, it was just a phenomenal performance, man. I mean, you can talk about the GOAT and all that all you want. I don't know if there's a bigger clutch shooter that's ever played that game. What's up, Blizzard Abroad? But it made me happy, man, to be an American, man. I'm proud to be an American. I really am. What's up, Don? He said, what's up, brother Cal? I just got that notification. I don't know what it is. YouTube, YouTube has its own agenda. Really. I mean, they push the channels they want to push. They talk about an algorithm, but they fix the algorithm to only push certain channels. I think family friendly, stuff like that. You know, it's no mystery that Mr. Beast is #1 because his content is geared toward children and stuff. And a lot of the big vloggers you even see in the Philippines and stuff, they're just family friendly stuff. I don't fit the narrative, man, but I'm not going to sell out. I mean, I might as well get rid of my YouTube channel if I'm going to sell out and sugarcoat every damn thing, but that's what they want. Wow, he was in the Philippines in '63. What's up, Sam? But I do want to say a little bit of something about this immigration, just real quick. They were talking about, because see, a lot of these vloggers, what they're doing, they're throwing that out there like, oh, there's so many people that's abusing the system. No, it's not. It's not. It's maybe the 2%. Okay, so do you scrap the whole system to punish the 2%? I say no. It's the same thing that me and Johnny used to always argue about. He said all this disability over in America, they need to cut that out. You know, just because you got a few people cheating the system. I said, what about the people who really need the disability and who really qualify for it? You throw them under the bus. It's the same thing with this immigration. You know, it's only a few people. Most of us abide by the rules, and it's never been 100% guaranteed. They've always had discretion. Even if you got an SRRV, they don't think that's guaranteed. They can cancel that at any time. All right, but they are, you know, cracking down on some people. You know, people slipping in with illegally, with, you know, sexual on the sex list and all that kind of stuff like that. But when I go to Dumageddon in the morning, I don't expect any changes. I don't expect them people to grill me about my intentions here. If so, I can just simply show them pictures of Booby, pictures of Maryland, the house, and all that while I'm here. But if you think the Philippines is going to burn down the whole house to kill a roach, you don't know the Philippines. That system generates billions of pesos that's needed in this country. But it makes for good drama, man. It makes for good, you know, fear. So fear tactics and stuff, clicks and views. But if you're just a person over here that's abiding by the rules, I don't think you have anything to worry about. But who am I? You know, drama and stuff. Yeah, he said they had to win. Silver was losing. And I think y'all can stop with the argument of whether this team is better than the 1992. It's all subjective, but you can say this. This year's team did play against better competition. If you go back and look at the world back then, man, the United States was destroying people. He said, Calvin, there was a time 50 was great. Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, Steve. There was a time when I would take that 50, but now, since it's been over 58, down near 59, and it's been hovering around there for so long, we've gotten spoiled. If we go back to 50, I've seen it as low as 41, Stephen. Hey, W Secrets of Success, thanks for that super chat. He said, put your content on platforms, Fanboats, Base, Rumble, etc. I am, because YouTube is just not, I've been loyal to YouTube. YouTube hasn't been loyal to me. I mean, it's a proven fact that when YouTube puts my content in front of more people, people stick around. They come back to watch other videos of mine, but I'm not family friendly, so they're not going to keep pushing me. You know, they push women and different things like that, but they don't push me. He says, I didn't know Serbia was that good. Yeah, our friends, Brazil, a lot of them, South Sudan. Man, I remember go back in 1992, the United States beat the Congo. It wasn't that many teams either, but they beat the brakes off of Congo. I believe almost by 100 points. It wasn't like it is today. What's up, Ron? John says in 1989 in San Miguel, it was 30 pesos in Angeles City. Wow, but it really hasn't changed. Well, it's doubled. It's about 60 now, if I'm not mistaken. If you go to one of these sorry stores, or in a grocery store, I can't remember, but I think it's somewhere around 60. It's not much more than that. But let me see what we got on here. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the video I did today, because I made this video to appease a lot of my viewers, which 94% of my men, they came at me like, well, why don't you do one about what men expect out of Filipinos? But I do that all the time. It's probably just so far back. I'm one of the few bloggers in the Philippines that tell you what men want, what we expect, that it's not all about the women. We matter. But they didn't get the memo. So I did it, but I did it in a way where it can't, that everybody could relate. This was just my list, my belief, just from talking to people, looking at my comments, because I say out loud what a lot of you guys are thinking. Okay, I can read you, man, because I'm a man. I'm over here. And we become obsessed with Filipinas. She's become otherworldly, really. She's the answer to our problems. Okay, all we got to do is get on a plane and fly over here and everything's going to be okay. But we've created this fantasy of her. And I just talked about 10 things as I see it, because, number one was sex, okay? And let's just be honest about that. Sex is our currency. If in fact that she wants our money, then what's wrong with us saying what we want? Far too many of us are afraid to ask for what we want, so you don't get it. These women can't read your mind. So you go around unhappy. That's why when the next video I put out, I promise it's going to be about why you should make your first trip to the Philippines, all about you. It shouldn't be an exploration trip. It's too soon for that. You come too far for that. You waited all this time. You made all these plans and everything to get over here, man. Just come over here and make it about you. Relax, have fun. Don't make it about her either, because if you come over here and it doesn't work out, you're going to be disappointed. I've seen far too many men do that. But when it comes to sex, see, y'all only think it in your mind. But when I say, oh, he's being mean, he's being nasty, I'm being honest about it. Okay? You want a lady in the street and a freak in the sheets. You want the real holy grail. You want all three holes to be available at all times. See, that's the holy grail. But you're afraid to say it, but you're thinking it. I just say it out loud. Okay? I'm sorry. That's just the way I see it. You don't just want missionary sex. You want a freak over here. Hey, 53 Shades Dark, he said, I personally think they are cracking down on foreigners coming here just to dip in their women. If you are married, I have a business and a purpose, you will be safe. That's what I'm hearing. I don't think that, man, they've been doing that for centuries. I think it has a lot to do with the POGO, the Philippine offshore gambling. There's a lot of Chinese over here illegally. And whenever we hear the word foreigner, we automatically think they're talking about us. But there's other foreigners here, a lot more than us. There's pedophiles sneaking in the country some kind of way. The Philippines is hurting for tourists, man. They're not going to penalize men for coming over here on vacation. They call it holiday. They're not going to do it. They're not that stupid. Okay, they're not that shallow either. Filipinos, they know what's going on, man. That's not. I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. It's too much money being generated, man. You're talking about billions of pesos. Go look it up. It's billions of pesos being generated just from that fast lane. Remember they used to give you that express lane fee. It's billions just for that. Remember they used to give you the option. Do you want the express lane, 500 pesos, or regular? When you do your extension, you might get your passport back the next day or 2 days later. Now they don't even give you the option. They don't even give you the option. They charge you that right away, man. Genius did not skip the Philippines. Those fees are genius. The fact that they allow us to stay in the country longer is a genius move because they knew it was going to generate billions of pesos that they're not going to receive otherwise. They don't have the numbers of Thailand and Malaysia and all those other countries over here in Asia. So they have to make up for it some kind of way. It's not even going to be changes, guys. I don't know how this got started, but remember when on my last live, I said, when you say something to somebody and they say it, by the time it gets back around to you, it's something totally different. I mean, I just don't think they're going to lock us out of here. I mean, it wouldn't do them any good. What's up, Soul Snatcher? He said the exchange rate was 22 in 1989. Yeah. Well, the dollar was stronger too, believe it or not, in 1989. It was about 67% stronger than it is today. The buying power. It's only worth about 33. Your dollar is worth about 33 cents. When you put in inflation and everything like that, the rising cost of everything, as it was in the 1980s. He said, "You're right, Cal. My first trip, I did relax, and getting that tune up every day made me relax even more." Where's Boobies? Wait, here. Well, it's a long way over here. I'm telling you from my experience. I'm not telling you something that I don't know anything about. I did not plan for that trip, really. I came back from Mexico, and I was just trying to get away, as far away from the United States as I possibly could. But I didn't have an itinerary. I would say have some type of itinerary now, but I didn't have no itinerary. I knew nothing about the Philippines. The only reason I got on that dating site because somebody in the chat rooms told me to do it. Say, hey, you going all the way over there, you might want to meet a woman, to show you around, right? But you don't even need that now. I wouldn't even do that. I mean, if you meet a woman, so what? But if you don't, you're still going to have a hell of a time, man. But you're going to meet a woman. I met another friend over here who said that when he came over here, he didn't have a plan. He just came over here and had the time of his life. To be honest with you, I had so much fun, man. I knew nothing about the Philippines. I didn't know what was waiting for me over here, what to expect, and I had a damn good time. But when people make it about somebody other than themselves, man, you're gonna lose. But we're talking about, let's talk about this stuff, of what we expect then. Yeah, so, and if the fact is, if the money's gone, she's gone, if that's true, what they say over here, oh yeah, they only want you for your money. Well, if the money's gone, she's gone, then how do we counteract that then? Shouldn't we have a way to fight back against that? Okay. If the pussy's gone, then I'm gone. But to sum up, hey, yeah, what he said, yeah, 57 to $1 right now. Yeah, 57.27. We want the real Holy Grail. That her 3 holes are ready at all times. Okay. I'm not trying to be funny. That's what y'all think, and that's what y'all want. You're just afraid to say it. Okay. Loyalty. We talked about loyalty because with a lot of this age gap and long distance relationships, men think very highly of loyalty. It's way up there. Does she really want me for me? I don't know how realistic it is, but I know that we value loyalty. Okay. Is my love being precipitated? And that's just how it is, guys. Loyalty's way, way up there. You can lie if you want to. What's up, Area 51? Yeah, the news said the #1 destination for tourists is Thailand and the Philippines. Well, Malaysia's far past the Philippines, probably double what the Philippines get, maybe triple now. Yeah, but Malaysia's way up there. Pre-pandemic, it was Thailand, Malaysia. I want to say the Philippines may have been third, but Thailand had like 49 million pre-pandemic. Malaysia had like 24 million, and then the Philippines had 8 million. It may have been 20 million in Malaysia. But yeah, Malaysia's way up there. He said relationships are least, but we're talking about all relationships, really. But I got the topic from the comment section. The very first comment on there. Well, what about communication? He says, yeah, that's important, but that's not high on the list over here because we're terrible communicators. We expect women to be mind readers. We're not going to ask for what we want. They're supposed to know what we want, when we want it, how we want it. It's impossible. And so that's why you're unhappy. The men who are winners, men and women, people, period, they ask for what they want. They're not afraid of being turned down, and they're going to keep asking until they get it. Every no draws them closer to a yes. But most of us, we're afraid to ask for what we want. We want the easy way. Well, what was the next thing I had? Submissive. We want a woman to submissive, but we want it to even go beyond that. We want her to be putty in our hands. Okay? If I say jump, you say how high. Okay? This is really what we want. We're never going to say that. We want a woman we can control. You do whatever I ask you to do. That's submissive. Okay? Because we don't want any pushback from you. We're not going to mistreat you. We're not going to ask you to do anything that we wouldn't do. But this is what men are thinking, but they're afraid to say it. So I'm going to say it for you. We want a woman that we can control. Okay? Putty in our hands, okay? That's what we want. The next thing I put down there was attractive. And they say, oh, beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. Well, get a new set of eyes, because there's nothing wrong with wanting and demanding for your money an attractive woman of 15, even if you're 2. Because remember, if youth and beauty is her value and money is yours, then there's no fair exchange, is no robbery. So if you're going to want a 15, then you got to have a 15 wallet. But we want them to be attractive. And it's more like however much money you got, it's really how nice looking she's going to be. That would be my mindset anyway. If I got real big money, then, you know, she better be 15. You get what you pay for. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you something. We're tired of settling for crumbs, guys. Period, in life, in any relationship, even on the job. You paying for the whole meal, I want the full meal. You paying for it all, then I want it all. Well, we're settling for crumbs. That's what one comment said. Look in the comment. Oh, well, we just settle for, what did he say? Consistency. I'm not settling for shit. That's the problem. But while I'm thinking about it, let me give a shout out to Michael Reinhold, because he made a contribution to the Sunshine Shoulders spin wheel, and there was no email or anything to say thank you to him. And I didn't want him or anybody else to think when you support us that we don't appreciate it, because we do. So that's why I did that in the video, because I don't know if he's going to watch that video. I don't know if he watches the live streams, whatever it is. But thank you. Anybody that's ever sent anything. He said, Calvin, your first trip there, how long did you stay? I stayed exactly 2 weeks. I had only planned for 1 week, Roger. That's how little I knew about the Philippines. I'm going to fly all the way over here, stay for a week, and go back. At the end of the week, I just wasn't ready to go back. I called Korean Airlines, and luckily, man, the flight going, changing their flight didn't cost any more, and they didn't need the lady on the phone because I called the airline. I booked it through a travel agent, but I called the airline directly. The lady in LA did not even charge me a rebooking fee. So it didn't cost me anything. But yeah, I stayed a week, man. Had the time of my life, man, because nothing was planned out. There was no expectations, none of that. I didn't come over here to see whether or not I was going to like it as a retirement place. I was nowhere near retirement. That was the last thing in the back of my mind. And I think that's why I had so much fun. It wasn't no woman for real. He said, LOL, get a new set of eyes. Yeah, because we'll use that as an excuse of abusing the eyes of the beholder. Because you sitting there with a duck, because you came over and settled for a two-piece, when you could have had a 15. And then you want to tell me, oh, you're abusing the eyes of the beholder. Well, get a new set of damn eyes, is what I'm saying. He said, why settle? He says, I have been sacrificing my whole life. In the fourth quarter of my life, I'm shooting my shot every time I get the ball. That's right. And this is what would be the goal, because most of us don't do that. The very first thing I wrote in my notes was, far too many men are afraid to ask for what they want in relationships, all of them. So we're unhappy. This is characteristic of losers. We expect people to read our minds and know what we want, how we want it, and when. It's just not, it's impossible. How you gonna get what you want if you don't ask for it? And then to the extreme, some of us don't even have expectations. We don't have any type of demands or requirements. We think, well, we're just lucky to get over here and find somebody. But the woman doesn't think like that. The number one on her list is money. You better have some damn money. And if your money's gone, I'm gone. Well, how can we combat that then? We got to have some expectations too. Okay? But a lot of our relationships, if you be honest, are one-sided. I forgot what they call that in the insurance business. He said, same here. I stayed 1 week and regretted it. I couldn't rebook, so I had to leave when I was having a blast. Yeah, I think the best thing you could do is come over here, man, for you. You work all that time. It's going to cost you a fortune to come over here. It's not cheap, man. I mean, even if you can get a good flight, you still got to pay for the food, the hotel, any entertainment that you do. And it's a long-ass flight over here, man. I would do it for me. You deserve it. Because somebody else may disappoint you. And then when you're over here on an exploration trip, you don't have to focus. Because shit's going to reach out and grab you over here. The sights, the sounds, the smells. Man, you ain't going to have time for that. Breaking up your stay because you got to get on a plane to Davao. You got to get on a plane to Angeles City and all that, looking for condominiums and all that. Man, F that, guys. Put all that on the back burner to next time. And if she can't accept that, then I'm sorry, lady. I'll find somebody that can. I'm not coming over here for you. I'm not going to waste my time and money and all that just to come over here, and have you be put in your damn prison? What's up, Michael Alexander? Hey, let's get the lights up, guys, and hit the subscribe button, man. Hit the notification bell. I see the biggest channels doing that, and I don't do it. Maybe that's why I don't get the support that I deserve, because I don't ask for it. But yeah, hit the subscribe button, man. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing, and even YouTube sometimes don't even give my biggest supporters don't even get the notification. Philippine Paradise say, hey Cal, I love your new Sunshine Shoulder song. Is that the singer from your past meet and greet? No, Patrick P. Money Black Rock, the vlogger, he made that for me. I didn't ask him to. He just made it. The very first time I heard it, I was like, wow. I said, can I use this for my, theme? He said, of course, that's why I made it. So shout out to him. That's AI, believe it or not. Because he was telling me, he said, man, you better get up on this AI. It's going to take over the world in the next few years. And he made that song for me off AI. I don't know what app he used or whatever, but that song is banging to me. I really like it. That song, I'm going to get the copyright to it, and I'm going to release it. Yeah, I might earn some money like that, because it's a legitimate, that's a legitimate song, man. I ain't going to lie. But yeah, we're over here looking for women who can read our minds. Not only women, but even at work. Even our friends, man, we're afraid. He said, we never used Korean Air, man. You talking about their service is number one as far as any of the airlines I've flown to the Philippines. They treat you like you're in first class. And you don't get all the food you get in first class and business class, but they really treat you good. They got great customer service. And their equipment works on the damn planes, man. Some of these planes you get on, the other day time I was on a plane and the damn my monitor didn't work. So I got to sit there and play with Maryland's monitor because the games nothing was coming on. The charger don't work. Yeah, get the lights up, guys, But let's keep going, okay? Attractive, okay? The cheerleader. We want the Filipino makeover, where they tell you you look better than you really do. You're younger, you look younger, you're smarter. They're your cheerleader. Every time you do something, they cheering for you. Whether it's real or not, we want that. He said, I teared up at the airport when I had to leave. Me too. I'm not gonna lie to you. He said, so 3 weeks would be a good trip. It would be a good trip. But I always say bring as much money as you can afford and stay as long as you can, Roger, because there's only one first time to the Philippines. Your star's not going to shine any brighter than it does on your first trip. Because let me remind you again that women over here, they love an expat virgin. See, I called it that, but YouTube wouldn't monetize the video, so I had to change the title to an expat first time. But they love that. They want to be the one. They want to be the first woman you meet. They want to be the one to teach you your first Tagalog words, show you around the Philippines, be the tour guide and all that. They're no different than we are. They really don't want a man who's been with a Filipino. Certainly not a lot of Filipinos. Okay. It's just like us. We don't want it. We don't want it either. Hey, what's up, Alexander? He said that new song is hot. It is, man. I really like it. He said looking for condoms, not condominiums. Yeah, that bot singer's far. Hey, darling May. But yeah, we want that cheerleader. Somebody to pick our low self-esteem up off the ground. A lot of us come over here, man, we're suffering from low self-esteem. We've been beat down. And we want her to put it back to where it belongs. Although you're the only one who's going to be able to do that. We want her to do it. And, if you're getting the real holy grail, that's getting you going in that right direction. He said, Powell has a Manila to Seattle now. Wow. He said, I purchased 2 round-trip tickets for $1,700 total. Wow, that's good. February 2005. That's pretty damn cheap. But, Seattle is not a long flight. I know from Japan to Seattle, I want to say it's 9 hours or something, maybe not even that. You don't do that just unbelievable flight that you do from Chicago to here. You get a break. Because I looked at it, because I was like, well, hell, I ride a train from Seattle to Chicago. But we want them feminine too. We want them feminine. I don't want a woman walking around with a blunt, smoking Newports and drinking a 40. You're driving trucks and just, I like a woman. And this is what we expect in women over here, whether that's real or not. This is what we expect. We want that delicacy, they're gentle. They're womanly, He said, Brother Cal, you're so right. The cheerleader effect is so real. It is real. But we want that. We want a feminine woman, man. Somebody who loves being a woman, there's nothing wrong with that. She's not trying to do everything you do. Imagine trying to dig ditches over here. Just because they want to show you they can do it. I can do everything you can do. Men and women, we're equal, but we're not the same. What's up, Dion? He said, kiss the hard concrete every time I'm back in the Philippines. We called them hard rocks back in the day. Yeah, that's what we expect though, man. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. At least have some expectations, have some demands, some requirements. Even though some of our expectations are unrealistic. If you're 70 and you expect a 20-year-old woman to love you romantically, I think you're overdoing it. It may happen, but I think you're asking a little bit too much. I think you better get to that fair exchange and no robbery. If you can get there, you're doing good. But if you expect that, then you're probably going to be disappointed. So now you're going to be unhappy. But if you get somewhere in the middle of the road like that, because if you're 70 and she's 20, she's a 15. I don't care what she looks like. He said, I love the Holy Grail. Well, that's the only way to go. Y'all thinking it. I'm just saying it. Oh, he's nasty. He's mean. No, I'm just being honest. Men want the Holy Grail. Your roller skates is there. Be careful. Your booby had a good birthday party yesterday at school. Her grandmother was so proud because the grandmother works at the school and she's usually setting up for the other kids to have the birthday party. But this time she was setting up for Booby. You can just see the wonder in her eyes, man. But yeah, y'all want the Holy Grail. You want them 3 holes available at all times. He said, how are the condoms in the field, Cal? Should we bring our own? I would say I don't use condoms. I've always been a one-woman man, no matter what you hear about me. I've always been a one-woman man in a committed relationship. I don't use them. Now, Jeffrey Tad and a couple of more guys sent me some condoms. I still got them up there. If anybody needs them, let me know. The good ones, expensive ones. He said, should we bring our own? I would say, yeah, because the ones here, remember you're in a Catholic. The Catholic Church has a big say over here. So, condoms is frowned upon, any type of contraceptives. So they're probably going to be old and dry and probably too little anyway. Hey, what's up? He says, I'm telling you, fellas, be clean, be friendly, and be clear about what you want. Just make sure you eat your Wheaties because the Philippines want you to bring your wallet and the wood. Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong now for wanting a 15, but you're going to have a 15 wallet. That's just how it is, because some of you guys, you're settling for crumbs. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Some of you guys, and you see the vloggers, you see it be like, well, I know I'm not gonna win any beauty contest, but hell, his money didn't get him nothing. Look at what he's walking around with, laying down with. He said, I don't want my woman to try to be equal to me. We both have a role in a relationship to stay in your lane and I'll stay in mine. This is what we want. How many people are going to tell the woman that, though, with all this women's lib and, the feminine movement and all that, man, you'll get counseled in the West. And that's why men are afraid to say what they think. Imagine if women said what they were thinking. See, we give women the benefit of the doubt. We think they're nice and pleasant and positive. Man, you can never live up to their expectations. Okay, they're ripping you up one side and down the other in their mind. So you better be able to ask for what you want. Because a lot of the stuff that we put up with in all our relationships, it could be nipped in the bud, but we don't do it. We let it fester. We let it bloom, man. And people are going to keep on doing the things they know they can get away with you, which is going to drive you crazy. And eventually you're going to bail. I believe the reason that there's separations, breakups, partnerships and relationships and families, because we're not getting what we want. He said, yeah, better bring your own magnums. That's what he said. Blizzard abroad. He said, budget the money. Get those likes up. He says, when it comes to women, you're always the second choice unless you're with them early. Hey, thank you. Yeah, he said you can get a 10 if you got the money. Just take it for what it's worth. I believe that. But even if it's true, if the money's gone, then she's gone, then okay. If the Holy Grail's not there, then I'm gone. But we're mean for saying that. Okay? I'm sorry, guys. But that's what they do. If it's true. Because the guy asked me, was communication important? Of course it's important. But most of us, we're afraid to ask for what we want. We're just not going to do it. Okay? You're selling for crumbs, but you're paying for the whole meal. You're paying for a full meal. And all you're getting is crumbs. But what's next that we talk about, okay? Supportive. And y'all know y'all thinking this. This is big, especially when men think on terms of she only wants me for my money. So they want a woman who has a job or at least can help with the bills and has her own money. That's what you want. You're probably not going to get that, but that's what we want. That's what we expect. Then say it. Then say that. Don't quit your job at the sorry store. But you can't have it both ways. You can't have her with you 24/7 and then her work at the sorry store too. He says, I'm getting what I want, Cal. For starters, I'm waking up to a natural woman, which is a huge start for me. Yeah, we just got to continue to get what we want. And if you don't have any expectations, any demands, any requirements, how do you know you're getting what you want? We're settling, man, for far less than what we deserve. And that's only because our self-esteem is so low. We've been disconnected for so long that we're just happy with whatever we get. Man, you're headed for failure. Only losers think that way. Winners go out and get what they want. Napoleon Hill said, successful people, when a man has a woman of his choosing, he's swept away to success he's never known before. But the key word to that is a woman of his choosing. Somebody that he really admires, somebody that he really wants. He's really been fantasizing about, dreaming about. This is who I want. This is what's going to make me tick. But how many men have that? Honestly. He said, I always hit the like on my phone and also on my TV, double liked each time. I don't even know how YouTube works. But I know they push an agenda. And they set that algorithm to push an agenda. I'm just going to say it out loud. I know it for a fact. But yeah, we want somebody that's supportive. We want somebody that's independent. You got to have your own life, lady. Don't be clingy and be my shadow and follow me everywhere I go and nagging me. Stop nagging me. I'm going to come and go as I please. This is what men want. We're not going to say it out loud. We're going to think it, and that's why it's never going to happen. You got your own activities, your own friends. Okay, we can do things together because, hell, we live together. We're married. But you need to be independent. Don't make me your life. Yeah, I'm stumbling all over myself to begin with. He said, Cal was watching a vlog. I can't recall his name. Him and his girlfriend was at a wet market. I like how he broke down every price to every fish by pound. They spent over 350 US. Does that sound correct? Oh, shit, that's a lot of damn fish. Because, okay, now it just depends on where you are, what times it travels. Now, when you're down, like when I was in Zamboanga, their fish, their seafood is much less than anywhere else I've been in the Philippines. They're top of the line fish. Now, you're talking about 2020 when I really lived there last. The 350 is a lot, okay, because they're top of the line fish, the lapu-lapu, the whatever it is, the tuna, just whatever it is. It's only like 320 pesos per kilo. That's 2.2 pounds. I'm talking about the top of the line fish. So he'd have to buy a lot of damn fish, man. That 350 US would, I mean, I don't know. He'd have to freeze that. He'd have to freeze that. Yeah, it don't sound right. Even here in San Carlos City, their fish is a little bit more expensive, but to spend $350, man, in the wet market here, that's a lot of fish. That would be, okay, just say, for instance, here, the regular fish, you have to buy 100 kilos at 350 per kilo. I mean, now you're looking at, man, that's too much. Come on, guys. I don't know what, maybe you misunderstood it. Or maybe he was doing it for a party or something, even for a party. Man, that's a lot of fish. It's just not that expensive. And you get what you pay for here. I would rather pay a little bit more for the fresh fish that really is right out of the ocean. The lady, that's why it costs us a little bit more here, because she goes to, where does that lady go, Marilyn? She doesn't get it here. She drives maybe an hour or two, meets with the fisherman and comes back. So she has to make her money. He said, what did he buy? A shark? No, a whale. That's a lot of damn fish, man. But yeah, we want an independent woman. Don't nag me. Don't nitpick me. Because you're going to see that over here. I remember when John was still living, we were at the Malwani. And I felt sorry for this brother. He was a black guy. And, he's sitting a couple of tables away. And, when they got up to leave, we hollered, hey, how you doing? Introducing ourselves. The lady sitting there like this. Would not let the man talk. And he just kept looking at her, looking at us. And to the family, we said, okay, man, your woman, you know, and she was a 1 at the best. At the best, I gave her a 1, and I'm like, dude, you come all the way over here to put up with that. But you know, some guys are just weak. Some men are just weak, man, when it comes to that. You know, I mean, I don't, that's the only way I can say it. Like, you're not gonna rush me. Here I am. I hear you babbling all damn day, and now I've got some guys who I can understand. They get my jokes, I get their jokes. Give me a few minutes with them. You know, don't be rushing me out. I mean, she was standing like this with a bad look on her face. I said, lady, I would have been gone. Yeah, 10 bags. Yeah, but still, man, that's a lot. What time's travel? I'm not saying you're lying because I didn't see the video, but I'm just saying, why would he spend that much? You're talking about, okay, 7, so just say 350, just say 350 per kilo. That's right in the middle. Let's say 400. Now you're looking at about $7 per kilo. And so he did 50 kilos. I'm like, was he giving the fish away? What's up, Lonnie? He said, good morning. Cal and Sunshine Crew. How's the peso rate? 57.27. If you're over here trying to build a house or buy any type of big money item, you better do it now while the peso is still, the dollar is still strong, because it's creeping down. Excuse me. He said, that's why I don't want one woman. I like freedom. You don't need condoms, but I'm going to need your whole closet. I'm just saying. He said, Brother Calvin, can you talk about the Tampo? I have zero tolerance for it myself. Well, it's just really where the woman, it's pouting, really. If you know what pouting is, that's what we call pouting in America. You know, Booby was pouting today because she didn't want to wear her school uniform. Booby likes to wear dresses and stuff every day. So when they put in the uniform, she's pouting. Just sitting there with a long face, won't say anything. You know, they just get real quiet, won't say anything. I don't tolerate it either, but that's the word I can say, you know, and it's just for the smallest things. They're so sensitive, and their feelings are hurt so easily, and you're not even going to know you're hurting her feelings. That's why when the guy says, oh, it's communication important, yeah, it is, but hell, you got to be able to communicate with her. You can't even understand her. He said, just trying to make my mortgage payment over there, Cal. What do you mean? I don't know if you can get a mortgage over here where your woman can. I don't understand what you're talking about. Because most people use the Filipino mortgage over here, which is just what I called it, where you pay in installments until the house is done, however long it takes. But when it's done, it's yours. But they do have a lot of places like, I don't want to mispronounce, it's a government fund that will lend to government workers and stuff. And they get financing through that. Peg-Ibig, I believe that's the name of it. But when you going to do something like that, what I've noticed is the real estate prices over here, they're just so high, man. I mean, I just don't understand. Like I said, there's two economies. And at one time, the Filipino economy, you know, the middle class was just growing exponentially until the lockdown. But remember, they got that POGO, and that kind of set the price across the board, rent and, you know, actual sales. But if they ever get rid of that, which I don't know they are, because it's just so lucrative, they say that the bottom's going to fall out. But I was looking at some, it was an ad on Facebook today 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You know, it's in one of those subdivisions where all the houses look the same. They call them houses. They're really townhouses. They're connected to the next house, you know, by the wall, but they're connected. Man, they're wanting 5 and 6 million pesos for those things. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You know, 20 years or something. I'm not sure. But that was one of the things I liked about the Philippines. The Filipino mortgage, if you get with the right engineer, or even if you got the right crew, you just pay until, you know, it's paid off. But once the money's gone, they're going to stop work. And then you get more money and then until it's finished, but you won't owe anybody. I don't want a mortgage over here. That's right. He says, you're right, Cal, but some Filipinos have to process your English before they can even respond to whatever you're saying. And the same, because they don't really understand everything you're saying. They literally take what you're saying. You're not going to run my life. If you say something like that, they really don't understand it. So you got to say, you're not going to manage my life, or you're not going to control me. You can't say something like that. He said, yeah, the Tampo mess is garbage. I don't put up with it. Okay, he said, so you do have a mortgage. He said, depends on the age of your wife, your Filipino wife. My mortgage is for 10 years. Oh, okay. Excuse me, it must be pretty high then. Because, man, these prices over here. And I know that America, you know, by the Philippines being a colony of America for so long, I know America and the way America does business has an influence on the Philippines, not the American economy, but just from dealing with Americans all the time, because over here in the Philippines, you would expect it to be a whole lot cheaper than it is, but it's not. That's why when you go to places like Vietnam, you go to places like Thailand, you'll be shocked at how much lower the prices are, and the value that you're getting for your money is so much greater than here. Because I scratch my head even now, 15 years later. I was like, where are y'all getting these prices from? I don't know. He said, yeah, my wife was talking about she could get a deal on those type houses. I was like, nah, I don't want to share no walls with nobody. And then it's going to be hard to sell. Okay, there's a lot of people having, I got 2 friends here. They're having the damnedest time selling those houses. Okay. You're going to have a hard time selling those houses. And they'll try to pitch the other amenities of being in a subdivision. You got the guard and all that, but I'm sorry, man. I'm not paying all that for that, because where Angelo Habib lives, all the houses look the same for the most part. They're attached to each other, but they got a nice swimming pool. They got the guard and all that, but he said they're wanting 6 million. I was like, I just can't see it. I can't see that. Yeah, you don't have, he had like a little strip. And I'm talking about, it was only so wide, he had a table and chairs on the patio, table and chairs. You walk out of the house, there's a wall, and then there's the street. And I was like, man, for 6 million? And, you know, it's 3 bedrooms, but they're small bedrooms. I mean, they're small. He said, how does it never come up? No, you know, he always talks about his wife. And she let him come to Thailand, but she didn't let him come to the Philippines. What's up, TJ? He said, sitting through the first half of a long layover in Manila. Oh, okay. So, you're going back, right? Now? Are you going, where are you going? Let me see. Okay, he said, I base my payment on 50 pesos to the dollar. Okay. That's just what I would do. Get a little piece of land and build your own place. You're going to save a lot of money. You're contributing to the economy. You're going to be providing jobs to the people who are building the house. Everybody's a winner. But evidently they've got a market, even though when you go to these subdivisions, okay, if you look at Pumpkin Joe Philippine's experience in his subdivision, so many empty houses. Angelo Habib, same thing. The guy in Cagayan de Oro, same thing. He said TJ's on Austin Holloman's level. Or is Austin Holloman on TJ's level? TJ's been doing this a long time. TJ's way up there. I don't really know Austin Holloman, but I don't know. I'd have to bet. I'd have to put my money on TJ because I've dealt with him. I mean, he's a real person as far as I'm concerned. Neil Davis said, but Cal, the one thing you don't have to worry about is someone squatting across from you. Yeah, I mean, if that's a big concern of yours, that's why we build the walls and stuff. I just don't have, that's not a big enough reason, Neil, and I'm not saying it's wrong to buy those houses and stuff like that. That's not a good enough reason for me to pay 5 times more than what I need to pay. That's all I'm saying. And I'm glad you're bringing this up because that's a great point. But you have to, talk about that and, is it worth the cost? Because our neighbor, the squatters over here, they're not on my land and they don't bother you. You hardly ever see them. He said, same in my subdivision, a lot of empty houses. Yeah, it's just going to be hard to sell that thing if you ever want to sell it. Because people are going to think, well, why would I pay that when I can just buy a new one? And that's the only thing about the housing market here. The prices are so high that somebody's going to be like, man, well, I would rather have a new house than buy your old one. He said, TJ's an MF man with this shit. He said, yeah, I put my money on TJ. And TJ don't be, man, he sent me a message one time. He was, I believe he was in Singapore. And the whole wall was a damn fish aquarium. I'm like, what the hell are you, man? He be staying in some hell of a places. But hell, when he rented that big beach house in Lapu-Lapu, that did me up. I was like, shh, I ain't paying him $500 for a night, but it was, man, that thing was worth it. I had everything. It had everything but the food. He said, did Pumpkin Joe ever sell his house? I don't believe he did. I don't believe he did. He hasn't said anything if he has sold it. It's just too confined for me. Not his house, but all those houses that are in those subdivisions. It's just, I mean, this person right here, and then right in front of you. And then if they don't take care of their yard and their house the way you're taking care of your yard and your house, it's going to bring down the value. Because I think that's one of the problems he had. The neighbor was hanging clothes up on the bushes and stuff, and he got mad about that because it made his house look junky. He said, Discerning Dad said, glad you're back on live streams again. Your perspective is very different. If I was in my 60s, what would you say about leading with the wallet would have made sense if you speak the truth? Hey, thank you. Yeah, it does, man. You got people on here, man. I know it sounds good, but we're not speaking to everybody. Okay, since we're on TJ's in his 30s. Okay, if I said you got to leave with your wallet, I'm going to get an argument from him or somebody in their 40s. But there should be no argument if I'm in my 60s, 70s, 80s, and you're talking about coming over here, leading with your wallet. Because, I mean, that's just real life, man. And especially to get the type of woman that you're trying to get. I mean, what are you going to lead with? Like I said, your walker? What are you going to lead with? I mean, why would a woman in her 20s, even 30s, in the prime of her life, want a 66-year-old man, or 73, or 81? You better lead with your wallet if you really want to get somebody. That's just real life stuff I'm talking about. He said, TJ, bro, I'm going to call you the fly jock as much as you've been flying around the globe lately. Yeah, he's racking up those points, man. See, that's a big mistake I made. I should have just kept flying Delta. Don't tell how many points I have by now. But I had so many points, so I got a free round trip to LA out of it. I had two upgrades to first class or business class, whatever it was back then. I don't know if it. I just looked at it all. I look at all of that as first class, to be honest. Even though there is a distinction, I didn't know between first class and business class. Hell, if you're in business class, that's first class, as far as I'm concerned. You know, when it comes to just the economy. He said, think about the house you can build for the price of a condo. And that's what I'm saying. And that's basically what you're getting, what you're buying when you move into these subdivisions. But remember, we're in the Philippines. You're not going to change it. It's just the way they do things over here. Is the security there? I don't know. Because if the real bad guys show up, man, those guys aren't going to lose their life over 500, 600 pesos a day. I mean, that's been shown to be the truth. When we talked about those Canadians getting taken from that resort in Samal, they were on a resort. So, the resort had guards. They're going to step out. They're going to step aside, man, and let the real bad guys in, the ones who really mean business. He said, would it be better to rent in some cases? Yeah, it just depends on who you are. But I'm tired of wasting money, man. I'm tired of just throwing money out the window. I did that my whole life. I want to see where my money's going. Even if I don't live here, I can see. If I can say, okay, that's where the 35,000 went. It doesn't just, disappear in the thin blue sky. That's the only reason why I decided to build. Other than my daughter, man, she's got to have a place to stay. It just depends on your situation. Most people say, I'm going to rent because I need an out. They end up being here all those years. And all that money, all you have to do is build the house, man. If push came to shove, honestly, and we really needed the money, I wouldn't have a problem. Merlin wouldn't have a problem with me selling this house. But you got to get with the right person. I'm not worried about all that stuff, though. That's not why I built it. I don't live my life like that, man. I'm just not going to live. Man, you don't know when you're going to take your last breath. And you don't wait till the fourth quarter to be cheap. And this is the spending stage now. Because you can't take that money with you. He said, Calvin, how much should I give my mother-in-law? She is asking for 50% of my income. I don't believe that. That's foolishness. And I don't believe it. Your mother-in-law were in America were 50% of your income. Come on, guys. Don't come on here with this stuff. Because I've never had a mother-in-law ask me for anything. I've been involved with 3 families over here. They've never asked me for not 1 peso. They're not going to ask me, though. They're going to ask the daughter, but they still don't. I mean, I just haven't had that happen. If if I were you, I wouldn't wait around. I'd be gone. I mean, the fruit don't fall too far from the tree. If your mother-in-law's asking for 50%, what, your wife wants the other 50%? He said, sorry, get in my day use room. San Francisco to Manila was 1,600 one way for the last minute. Then I used points to bump to Polaris Beers. Oh, so you're going back to Vietnam. Is that where you're going? I don't mean to call you out, but I'm just saying you're in Manila. He said, I like my corner lot. It will allow me to put a wall around my property, even though it's in a subdivision. Yeah, the lots just aren't big enough for me, Neil. And privacy was one thing that I wanted. And even though you can see that the way that house right there is built, it's facing east of me. Okay, that wall. So if you come to the end, I can't see anything they're doing. They can't see anything I'm doing. But nobody's even there. But I wanted a place where I could have some place to walk around, sit out and drink my coffee if I wanted to, read a book. We don't have a gigantic lot, 230 square meters, but it's big enough when you've got a 58 square meter house. And it's all on one level. See, a lot of them subdivision, they've got 65, 70 square meters, but it's on two levels. I mean, those places are just too little, man. I just can't see spending all that money for that. He said, I just got back to Manila. Okay, yeah, picking up my girl on the way back to Vietnam. Yeah, that's where we're going to make my next visa run. We're going to come over there, man, and holler at y'all. I've been watching a lot of the name videos. He said, I wear that 4M shirt with a smile, bro. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be realistic about it, but guess what? She better have the Holy Grail on display. Hey, Ruby, how you doing? Well, at least if you're doing United, at least you got the meal, the international meal, because the last time I flew United, man, that's so petty. You fly from Chicago to Hawaii, but they don't feed you because they consider it a domestic flight. Then you fly from Hawaii to Guam. That's domestic. So you got to buy your food all the way from Chicago to Guam. They feed you from Guam to Manila. And I was like, oh, I'm done with y'all. Thanks, Lawrence, for that super chat. He said, your info has been great. I've decided to make the jump October 2024. Wow, that's right around the corner, brother. Excuse me. Have you ever been over here before? And you ever just gonna come over and see if you like it? Because remember, don't make that first trip an exploration trip. You're not gonna be able to relax and enjoy yourself the way you need to. Certainly don't come over here on a date. If you have to come over here to 8,000 miles to get a date, you don't need to be coming here. If that's the reason you're coming here, you should be ashamed of yourself. There's no reason to come all the way over there. You know how far that is? I'm not talking to you, Lawrence. I'm talking to anybody. Because she may not be worth it. See, a lot of these vloggers, man, they're pumping these women up, man. These are women now, okay? They do things, some things better than other women, but is the woman you coming over here, the particular woman you're coming, is she worth all that trouble? You don't know. You're taking a guess. Flying all the way over here for that. Crazy. Come over here for yourself. Relax. You deserve it, man. You did all of that planning. You've been waiting all that time, saving up your money. Come over and let your hair down, man. Have a damn party. Make it be all about you. Spend all your money on yourself. If somebody's sitting next to you, okay, then you coming along with it. But to make it about somebody else or some type of business trip, it's too far, guys, to do that. You're not coming to Mexico. This isn't Brazil, man. You're coming on the other side of the planet, literally on the other side of the planet. You better make it about you, or you're going to be disappointed. Ruby says, as an expat, you have to remember that the house you're building isn't going to be yours. It's your wife or girlfriend's to own. Well, we don't care about that. We don't care about that. Even if I'm renting, the money's not going to me. I mean, why are we so worried about owning something? You don't own anything in the West. I didn't. If I would have missed my tax payments, Ruby, they would have took my house. Okay? And then you always go into it. That's why I love the Philippines. You don't have to spend 5 and 6 and 10 million like guys do for a house. I spent 1 million. Don't spend any amount of money that you can't walk away from. It's not going to make or break me. When you include everything involved, I'm looking at 35,000. Okay, big damn deal. Okay, but I've got a daughter in the mix. Okay, I got skins in the game. Or if somebody's married. But we got to get off this, oh, I don't own it stuff. Because you're going to throw the money away anyway. And if you get with the right wife or the right girlfriend, it's going to be yours. Yeah, technically, it's in Marilyn's name. But she knows if push came to shove, she'll sell this house. If they have me in jail, she would sell it because she know we'll build it again. But we can't get off of that. Now I can see like the guy in Dumaguete, Ruby, that spent 200 million pesos. Now you're talking. Okay, now I'm pretty sure he's got some type of lawyers involved. Okay, but just to throw my money away because I can't own it, you can lease land and build your house on it for 50 years. And then, deed it to your kids or whatever it is. Yeah, see, but y'all always looking, okay, guess what? We become what we think about, big dog. If you think that way, then guess what? It's probably going to happen. If you're going to it like that. Because either way it goes, man, everybody who says that, he says buying a house would tie you to the land. That's a non-starter for me. When poop hits the fan, I'll have no out or whatever it is. Okay, now when you come over here and you rent, you're paying 30, 40,000 because that's what we're paying over here to live a Western lifestyle. In 5 years, you built the house. You spent the money anyway. Just the fact that you don't own it doesn't mean anything. You still spent the money. You're going to spend it anyway. Would I have built it if I didn't have any skins in the game? Probably not. But I would eventually come around to doing something like, hey, let me lease this and build me a small house. Something of my liking, something that I designed. Because I'm going to own it as long as I'm alive. And when I'm dead, who cares? But it's a decision you have to make. But if you want to continue to throw away your money like that, throw it away. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. Especially look at the money I'm saving. I don't have any rent. So as long as I live over here, I'm going to have to pay rent. And I have to deal with the landlords and all that, man. It's too high of a price to pay. They're not going to keep the place up to my standard. I've already seen that. I've rented so many times over here already. They're not going to keep it to my standard. I don't want that headache. Okay, not the last house, but before we moved in here, But the one before that, the septic tank was leaking. She was not going to fix it. You're talking about now you put my family in jeopardy. You got to think about all that stuff instead of, oh, you can't own it. I don't own shit anyway. I didn't own that house in America. I thought it was mine. Hell, it's gone. When I got that marriage, it wasn't mine, I found out. The bank owns it. Ruby and anybody else y'all talking about over there, you don't own that house over there. The bank owns it. Until you pay it off, until you can burn the mortgage. Don't fool yourself, man. And you're going to pay, what, 10 times as much for the house over there? I bought my house, it was $114,000. With the 30-year mortgage, I was going to pay $270,000 for that house with interest. Okay. At no point is that house ever going to be worth $270,000. But we get caught up on that. You don't own that house over there. He said, you're right, Cal. The family would never, especially your mother-in-law or father-in-law, ask you for anything. Yeah, I think it's a joke. He couldn't be serious. 50% of his income. Well, 50% of nothing is nothing. I tell I don't have anything. You want 50%? Yeah, a lot of experts. I mean, that's the first thing we say, though. That's the big argument we have over here. The one thing that holds you back is you don't want to, I can't own it. Without realizing you don't own it anyway. I don't want a mortgage. And renting to me is like a damn having a mortgage. Okay? Just for me, it is. When I can come over here and spend 15, 20, 25,000 and be done with it. Because you're going to be here. And even if you're not, then okay, rent it out. And quit being a damn fool over here. Okay? Rushing into everything. That's right. He said, Cal been seeing crazy monthly budgets. Some experts are saying you need a minimum 2,000, 2,005 a month, and some saying you need 5,000, so you should do a budget live stream. But see, budget live streams aren't going to teach you anything. There's two economies over here. You got one for the locals and then one for the middle class, the rich, and the foreigners. If you stay somewhere in between there, you get a balance. You're going to be okay. But my budget is not, and I've done one before. It's not going to do you any good because you're not going to live like me. So it doesn't matter. Some people do need 2,000, 2,005. That's one of the reasons why they didn't choose the Philippines as a retirement destination. When they finally got over here and the dust settled, they were like, man, I'm going to need 3,000 a month to live the life I want to live. And there's destinations closer to my house where I can spend that kind of money. I don't have to come all the way over here to the Philippines because they hear that stuff about $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month. And I'm not going to tell you you can't do it because I don't know who you are. I don't know your situation. How many people are going to be living with you? Where are you going to live? What kind of lifestyle are you going to live? What you like to do? Do you like to scuba dive? Do you drink? Do you smoke? Skirt chase? Are you living with a woman? How many kids does she got? Do you live in a house, condominium? Where are you living? The province or the city? It's too crazy. You got to come over here, Discerning Dash, because they're really not lying. They're giving you their truth. And that's how you got to take that. You can't take that as your truth. Because I'm going to tell you, man, I lived over here on the cheap because I live in San Carlos City. And it's not expensive to live. The rent, there's $200 rent. My rent was $160 a month during the pandemic and the lockdown. I mean, you know, and you couldn't go anywhere. So you're looking at, and I didn't really have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel hadn't really started, and I wasn't really getting any money then. You're talking, I was taking care of 6 people on about $1,400 a month. So yeah, those budget videos, the people do the best that they can, but they're really giving you their truth. The only way you're gonna know 100% is to come over here. But remember, do your research first. I just did a video. Find out what kind of lifestyle you want to live and how much that's going to cost. Don't bring your money over here and say, oh, I got 2,000. What kind of lifestyle is they going to get me? It's too late. You're already over here now. Hey, Alpino, thanks for becoming a member of the Sunshine Shoulders community, man. I know you've been around here a long, long time. Yeah, you're like an old friend. What's up, Harry Shoulder? That's Robert. I went back and watched that video that we did the other day, and they act like we was picking on Robert. We wasn't picking on Robert. He's the divorce expert. We wanted to know what was going through his mind. Because I believe after the 3rd divorce, I would have been like, this divorce shit ain't working for me. He said, I pay $200 a month rent here in Cambodia. I love it. I was talking to somebody. I don't know who I was talking to. I can't remember. But when you talk about these rent prices over here, no, it was on that. It was somebody had made a post on the brothers and sisters in Thailand. They showed a condo for sale for 12,000 baht, and they, you know, it was like what, less than $400 a month. Now, for somebody that's been living in Southeast Asia for as long as I have, I may look at that as high. But somebody coming from LA or Dallas or something like that, they're gonna be like, man, it's cheap. They don't even think twice about that. They're like, yeah, I'll pay 400 instead of 2,000. But yeah, those budget videos, guys, they're just confusing. That's all they're gonna do is confuse you. It's gonna discourage you. That's why I made that video that I made, you know, the $3,000 budget is a myth. It is a myth. You balling out of control if you coming over here and you by yourself, or even if it's you and your woman, and you spending $3,000 a month, you living damn good. I don't care what anybody tells you. You living damn good. Hey, the Sigma Enigma, thanks for that super chat. He said, hey, Cal, boots on the ground here. I'm grinding hard, and when I lock down 4 more clients, I'm booking that damn trip. I hear you, man. Did you look into the Medicare Advantage? Man, it's sweet. I'm telling you now. Don't wait too late. Go ahead and do that now. He said, Calvin, did you say 3rd divorce? Not me. Robert Ruby has been divorced 6 times. And I said, me being who I am, after the 3rd divorce, I would have been like, no, this marriage shit's not working. She said, Jesus, either you're unlucky or a magnet for bad marriages, or, you know, you got bad judgment, or you're the problem. Something's not going right. If you get divorced 6 times and then some guy said, well, Robert, he's a positive person. He's just going to keep trying until he gets it right. No woman in her right mind is going to marry a man unless you got plenty of money that's been divorced 6 times, because she knows she's going to be number 7. Okay? This is what I'm saying. And is there any man on here, be honest, that would date a woman here or anywhere in the world who's been divorced 6 times? I don't even want to know that you've been with 6 men. Don't tell me that. I mean, really. Let alone 6 times. Hey, Kevin Strong, thanks for that super chat. He said, Cal, I appreciate you because you share your ups and downs. Some people grow old but they don't grow up. Thank you. I don't have any secrets. And then I knew long before my channel even became popular and had any type of traction, that I knew just from watching other people and what they were going through, that people always try to expose something about you. So you can get in front of that. I don't have any secrets. Anybody watching me has probably been through what I've been through or can relate. They know somebody because I'm human. You know, that's really all that is, man. And then I learned, you know, going through recovery, man, that it's best to be honest so you can look the world in the eye, man. I hear from that stuff. I drink over that stuff, them secrets and all that stuff, my past for a long time. I'm just not going to be a victim of my past anymore. You know, but I think I was telling Blizzard Abroad that, you know, I said, don't censor yourself. Just talk from your real life experiences. Otherwise, people aren't going to relate. We're not unique, guys. Neil Davis said, you're not by itself when it comes to marriages. It happens more than what you think. I know it happens, but 6 times, and be honest, guys, put it in the comments. If you would date a woman, she's a 10. Now, she's a 15, but she's been divorced 6 times. Or she's got 6, the body count is 6. You know, and they took her through the ringer. You know, like foreigners take women over here through the ringer. She's been taken through the ringer 6 times, but she's a 15. Okay, you're a 2. You're coming off of a bad marriage and a divorce. Would you date her? You're not gonna date her, man. I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, because sometimes we keep picking the wrong person to be with because it's us. Sometimes we haven't got rid of the garbage or the luggage that we were carrying from the last relationship. We looking for something outside of us to dull that pain because it's painful, man. Especially when you care about somebody and they leave you. Or you leave and then you realize, oh man, you know, I didn't know it was going to be this bad out here. But when you try to, but then when you look back, there's somebody already there. It's painful. But something, you know, the less I know, the better off I am. See, when y'all go into these relationships, you're asking this stuff right away in the first few nights, man. A lot of you going to say, yes, it's good. I want to know right away. But, man, I'm telling you, I don't want to know that she's giving the holy grail to 6 men. Okay? I just don't, I don't want to know that. I don't know if a woman would tell you that anyway. So they're lying to you in that respect. Hey, Eddie. Yeah, Frank, yeah. But how do we know? You know, because, you know, what I don't know won't hurt me. I'm not even going to ask that. He said, remember, in most cases, you pay for what you get. Some people don't mind living in a nasty place, and some like living in a clean place. Me, I'd rather the cleaner spot, so it's going to cost. Yeah, it just depends on where you live. If you live in Manila and you're paying 10,000 pesos a month, you're not going to get what you're going to get here in San Carlos City. Okay, that's why, you know, budget, just like you said, 53 Shades Darker, you're different from me or somebody else. You don't mind paying more. Some people are coming over here that they have limited funds. And they want to hear me say, oh yeah, you're gonna make it, you can do it on 1,000 a month. I can't say that and have a clear conscience. I say, come over here and see what you're working with. See what you can do. But you should know before you get over here, it's easy. The internet's full of information. We live in an age of information. If you think you're just going to come over here and sit around all day, see, that's what people think. Your living expenses are going to be far below 1,000. Okay? That's why I was telling y'all on the video I did. My rent was 160. My food was about 400. My electric and my water and my immigration. See, those are the things that I had to pay. It's way below 1,000. But what am I going to do now? Do I want to go out every now and then? Do I want to go to the beach? I'm going to take the kids to the beach, birthday parties and all that kind of stuff. Pads and panties and bras for my girlfriend. That stuff, you got to pay for that kind of stuff. This is when your budget gets all blurry and you can't see through that. But can you live on 1,000? Absolutely. Your living expenses are going to be less than that. You're going to have everything you need, but then what? What are you going to do? Just sit around here in the place? Can't go anywhere? You're going to wear the same stuff over and over? He said, right, Cal, it was just a conversation, my choice to take the seat. I fully understood what I was doing. Expect a hard ball in a hot seat. Major League fastball is 14 innings, not for everyone. No, we wasn't even trying to. I just brought you on since the subject was divorce, Robert. I brought you on to try to see what you were thinking. I never did get inside until the last. You were talking about all the money you spent and how much it cost you and everything like that, the heartache. When I wanted that in the beginning, I guess you didn't understand what we were saying. I wanted to get into your head. I wanted to know, what were you thinking? That's a lot of times, man. So if you got divorced 6 times, okay, and you were talking about codependency, but you're not married now. You haven't been married with anybody since 2017. So what happened? We never got that answer. That's the answer we wanted to know. Was the 6th one was that the lick that you felt when you said, hell with this? So that's why we want to know, do we tell a woman we've been divorced 6 times? Or do you hold that for a little while? When do you disclose that type of information? Because one thing that we do, the Filipinos won't do, man, getting information from them is like pulling teeth with your hands. Okay, we give them all our information up front, man. And a lot of times it can hurt you. It can hurt you. They can use that information against you. That's why I stopped answering personal questions. People are like, what high school did you go to? When were you in the Navy? Why do you want to know that kind of stuff? I can't even see your face. I don't even know who you are. Why would you ask me those kind of questions? You got to have a need to know. He said before anyone gets married, they should watch Bounty Hunter D. He has a YouTube channel. Now, what does he do? Go all up in somebody's personal history and all that? I think we kind of spoke about that, Mitch. Like, if I got to go through all of them, jump through all them hoops and all that, I'm not getting married. Some guy was talking about hiding all his wealth and transferring it into this and opening up this. And we was like, man, we got to do all of that. Who wants to get married if you got to do all of that? Yeah, Robert's a cool guy, man. But all things being equal, if a woman told you that, good and damn well you're not going to fool with her. She's experienced. She probably got good head, having been with 6 men. She's literally a loose woman. Yeah, but 6 times, that's a lot of divorces. He said, think about them women 45 and 6 went and marry him anyway. I don't know. Think about them women 45 and 6. Yeah, I leave her for the streets too. He said, no, I'd rather have it fresh water. Okay, so now, what about a woman with a 6 body count? You know, one thing I do like about the women that I've dealt with over here, I can't speak for all women, they're not the same. I'm not gonna paint them all with a brush. They had a low body count. One, you know, they want to be married forever, really. That's their culture. But in America, it was a different. There's no telling how many men that woman was with before you met her. Especially as they get older, you know. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Man, I don't know if that goes for relationships. He said, I think 2 times will be my limit for her to be divorced, and maybe only one. Man, 2 times is even going a little far. But that's the double standard. That's why I say, you know, men and women are equal, but we're not the same. See, a man can be married and divorced twice, and you don't think it's no big deal. But a woman, wait, let me get my charger. But a woman married twice, now it's getting ugly. I mean, it's getting messy, literally. You know, because that's just how we think as men. Our minds is always in the bedroom. That's all we're thinking about. Look how many times, you know, she was giving blowjobs and all that, right? He says a young man will keep a side chick, but us old seasoned guys don't need the side chick anymore. Yeah, you can't handle it. He said a hard look in the mirror needed after 6 times. No shade to Robert, he's a good dude. Yeah, that's probably what he did. He probably was like, well, hell. And now he figured out he was probably jumping the gun a lot of times. Okay, now Big Dog says, I'm on wife number 4. Now, do you think that it's codependency or cohabitation? I mean, what were you thinking after divorce number 2 and number 3? Or is it something that, like the guy said on the last live stream, he was talking about, on that live stream, rather, he said, for most of us, being married is the normal thing. You know, living with somebody's like living in sin. Is that what you're thinking, Big Dog? I mean, what did your wife number 4 think that you've been divorced 3 times? What does she think? She gonna change you? He says, I'm having a hard time living on $1,700 a month, but I make it. I cannot afford to live it all in America. Yeah. Now, you know, if you swallowed your pride, you would. But you make a great point here. I would rather try to make it over here on 1,700 than in America, and then I got to swallow my pride. I got to ask for Section 8, maybe a smidgen of food stamps. You know, I got my Medicare, you know, and then the standard of living, you're not going to live pretty good. You're not going to live good at all. You're probably going to be in one of those senior high-rise buildings, one of those warehouses. But over here, you do have some type of independence for 1,700. Okay, and you know, you probably got a companion. Your life is totally different over here on 1,700 than it is over there on 1,700. But the only way, Marty, you found out was to come over here, not listening to anybody. Because what it would cost for people to live on 1,000 or 1,500, they don't want to make the sacrifices. So I'm not going to tell them that they can do it, even though I know it's possible. Are you willing to make the sacrifices? And a lot of people aren't going to do it. Wow, Michael Scully, he says, Cal, believe it or not, I married a woman who was married 6 times. Well, now was she married 7 times? You the 7th. we got to talk about this, Mike Scully. Now, you and Robert, y'all can have a good conversation. Yeah, I mean, now I told you when we talked about it. I don't even know why people even make that 1,000. They never put in inflation, the cost of living raises and all that. It's more expensive now because ever since I've been looking at YouTube videos, they've been stuck on 1,000 a month. Well, hell, that's 15 years ago. Let's just say 10 years ago when I really was looking at videos about YouTube. When are you going to account for all that? How can you just say 1,000? Why not even move it up to 1,500? But if you're willing to make the sacrifices, you can do it. If you're going to live closer to that local economy, you can do it. If you're going to live basically in the squatters area and all that, okay, get your food from the wet market and, basically live like a local, you can do it. You wouldn't even have to be in the squatters area, but your budget, you're going to be tight. And if you're outdoorsman and all that, yeah, he said, tune up 3 times a day, blurred my vision. Guess what? Didn't quite work out fun while it lasted. Yeah. I said that. I said, it's inevitable. Yours was certainly inevitable. So enjoy the good times while you can. Because you were going to be the 7th victim. Yeah, Rob was a good guy. We just wanted to, I just innocently asked him that. I wasn't beating him over the head and saying, oh, you're a bad guy for being married 6 times. I don't give a damn. Who am I to say? Okay, but yeah, he might be in love with love, same with Big Dog. Something's going on. But these guys just to keep on getting married. He said, Michael Scully, are you related to Robert? Yeah, I wouldn't be quick to disclose painful stuff. 80% don't care. And the other 20% are glad it didn't happen to them. Negative info is used to judge you. And people are just so meddlesome nowadays. They're not satisfied till they know everything about you. And people actually ask me that stuff. I got like, well, what year did you graduate? What year were you in the Navy and all that? Yeah, people lie. Yeah, right up to the end. They do. But Robert learned something because he hasn't been married for 7 years now. He says, I agree it depends on the individual, but all things being equal, it sounds like $1,700 per month is a sweet spot for all a man's living expenses, even if he has a constant female companion. It just depends, man. You're going to be cutting it close. But like I said, at least he's got a companion. At least he has some independence. He's living in a tropical paradise, really. I mean, you can focus on that negative stuff if you want to. But the natural beauty over here, the weather and everything like that, you can at least say that. It's a whole lot better than living in one of those senior high rises. Or, begging the government for help. But $1,700 per month is not going to get you a whole lot of lifestyle in America. You're going to need some help. You're going to need some type of subsidy. Yeah, she's worn out. It's no longer the holy grail. It's holy cow is what it is. He said, most of these dudes come over here thinking the places to stay are like what's in their home country. I've never seen no one really show the inside of these cheaply priced places to stay. Well, I did, but you're exactly right. That's why you got to come over here yourself. But I showed that apartment over there, but everybody can't live in St. Carlos City. Even the older guys admit that, it takes a lot to live here. You really got to be settled, man. You know, I'm settled, but it doesn't mean I don't like to get out and go to different places. But you're not gonna find a nice of apartment for 200. I mean, for 10,000 pesos, which that's less than 200 now. Nowhere else in the Philippines. It's in a upper middle class neighborhood. Hell, the land over there is some of the highest in the city. I believe it's over 11,000 pesos per square meter. And you got the big secured wall, and it's fully furnished. All you have to do is just take your clothes and move in. But you're in San Carlos City. You're in the middle of nowhere, basically. 5 hours from Dumaguete, 2 hours from Bacolod, that's the nearest airport, by the way. But remember, you can do it, but are you willing to make the sacrifices? A lot of people don't want to make the sacrifices. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Men, there's a double standard with that. We were talking one time over Derek Q's house, and a guy made a point, which my father made the same point, but it was different. He said, Calvin, he said, if a man lay butt naked out here in this driveway, and you went and told everybody, very few people would come to watch him. But if there was a woman laying here butt naked, and you went out and told everybody, he said a line would circle around this whole block. People want to see that. And my father was just saying, a man can be butt naked in the street, drunk and everything, but then clean himself up and put on a suit, and the next day he's Mr. again. That's just a double standard of life. He said 2 times divorced, first time 17 years, second time 10 years. Pissed me off when number 2 says she regrets it. Yeah. Well, they're going to say the type of things, whatever it takes to hurt you. Edward Bland said, financially, I think I can only take it 1 or 2 times. Divorce can be very expensive. Yeah, even if they're amicable, even if they're no-cost divorces. Smiley, what's up? He said 53 Shades. Exactly. I never see any one of them show the place where they're staying and they talking 1,000 a month. Yeah, bullshit. They never show you the lifestyle they're living either. They just put that on the front of the thumbnail, and then they'll tell you their bills. But they don't tell you their entertainment. If you go somewhere, man, we were gone for 10 days, man. It destroyed my budget. Staying in those Airbnbs, buying food every day, eating out every day. That was just for 10 days, man. I mean, that's just the real nitty-gritty right there. Because you're not just going to sit around and not do anything. If you're just going to sit around and not do anything, then you can do it. But you're not going to do that, man. And that's the expensive part. Buying plane tickets, bus tickets, eating out, going to the resort, going to Peng Lao Bahal, staying in a hotel, Airbnb. He said, let's be real, 1,000 a month isn't enough to live on in the Philippines. But how can you say that when so many people are living here for less than that? You won't live comfortably. Let's put that comfortably in there. Because you can actually live on $1,000 a month, but you're not going to have any entertainment. You're not going to be able to go anywhere. You're going to live a boring ass life because you got a $200 rent, okay? Another 100 for electric, another 10 for water. Then just say 400 for food and another 28 for immigration. What's that, about $700 a month? Now you got $300 left. What are you going to do for a whole month with $300? You're going to be pressing it hard. That woman's going to eat up that 100. But I won't say that it's impossible. But you're not going to do it. You're not going to do what it takes. You don't have that type of self-discipline. But I would rather try it here and don't succeed than to live that type of existence in America for $1,000, where you're on your damn knees begging the government for food stamps and Section 8 and stuff. Because that's basically what we're doing over there on $1,000. I don't know if you can live in Brooklyn, can you, Smiley, on $1,000 a month? Ruby says a studio unit at Candy Palace is $940 a month. Internet, water, electricity inclusive. So if your budget is $17, then you're left with $760 for the rest of your expenses. When I was in Sikiho Island, they wanted $20,000 all inclusive. That's why I was able to live there so cheaply. If you find a place where they're going to do it all inclusive like that, okay, but then you got food and you got entertainment. But because I was already in the resort area, that saved me a lot of money, really. I'm right on the beach. But yeah, that's a lot of money, $940. But Angeles City, I guess it wouldn't be. Because, you know, you're living a Western lifestyle in Angeles City. And I think that's what it amounts to. How close of a Western lifestyle? Remember, there's two economies over here. During the pandemic, I was living closer to the local economy. And so, you know, I didn't have to spend that much money. But now that everything's open back up, I'm inching toward the Western economy. I'm spending more money. I couldn't do it on $1,400 anymore. He said that Harry showed us men don't require hearts of gold. We just want some peace and understanding when we get home. Yeah, in Cebu, you're right. He said, yeah, for 500, 800, that's true. It's more realistic to get something decent. On $1,000 budget, you'll have $200, $300 left, which you end up selling banana Q. $1,000 is not the answer. Yeah, I would say. He said 4,000. Man, that's a lot, man, because, man, you're going to counsel out a lot of guys. We wouldn't be able to come over here. I know I wouldn't. You know, I would have said, the hell with it. There's no sense in me coming. Because, you know, that's high, man. You know, you got, you to be considered rich in the Philippines, it's $3,808 per month. I mean, you're rich. So there's got to be some type of room in there, some type of wiggle room, probably from 2,000 to that 3,800. 4,000, man. Hell, I don't earn that. And I'm living pretty comfortable. What's up, Smiley? Thanks for that super chat. He said, for me, Brother Cal, $2,500 a month is a sweet spot for my lifestyle there. Yeah, 4,000 to 5,000 living like a king. Yeah. Because Angelo Habib, I wish he was on here. He got a good lifestyle down in Davao. He thought he was spending $2,500 a month, Smiley, but he started tracking his spending on the computer, right? Because that's the type of guy he was spending about $1,900. And, you know, he's got a girlfriend. He lives in a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house in Davao. He showed it to me. He said, Calvin, I thought about what you said, that people don't track every peso that they spend. He said, so for the last 4 months, I've been doing it. And it surprised me. He said, I thought I was spending about $2,500 a month. He said, I wasn't. I'm spending about $1,900. And his refrigerator's full of stuff, and it just depends. But I think you're right. If you're spending more than $2,500, man, you're living damn good. If 3,800 is considered rich over here, you gotta be able to live off 2,500. If you can't live off 2,500 over here, man, you probably need to be looking somewhere else. Now, would you live a higher standard of living in Thailand? I believe you would. I was only there for 5 days, but the value for your dollar is greater in Thailand. Okay. Everything's, like I said, the prices here, I think it has a lot to do with the American influence. Because when you go to Thailand and you see the stuff, it's not nearly as expensive. And if it is, it's a whole lot nicer. He said, Calvin, Japan, Korea. The ladies, Penai, USA, nursing, LA. Yeah. You talking about what they're earning? We're sending our daughter to nursing school. And, she could have went to one of these little rinky-dink colleges. But I'm not going to have it. It's a waste of money. Okay. I don't mind spending, I believe it's going to be something like $120, $140 a month or something like that. Imagine to send her to nursing school. I'll sacrifice that. Because one day, she's going to be the breadwinner of this family. I may not even be around. But I'm not going to have her waste her time going somewhere. And it's not going to be anything because over here, man, it's competitive. You need a real life degree unless you're going to be ambitious as hell, because they got some ambitious people here. Genius did not skip the Philippines. You see these people opening up these businesses. Look at that JRC consultancy. That guy's rich. He's rich far beyond Filipino standards, probably what we're living. That's a great idea that he came up with. But that nursing, man, if you get into that nursing and you really on top of things, yeah, hell, you're going to make it. Oh, okay, so you're saying, you said 2 were arrangements to get out of the military barracks at 2 different bases. Oh, okay. Number 3 was too lazy, wouldn't work, but loved to spin. He said, realistically, I'd be living a Western lifestyle. I'm picky with my food as is. With that said, I know I'm going to need a little more base bread than that, especially the locals. Yeah, but hell, if you're picky about your food, cook at home. But yeah, if you're going to live a Western lifestyle, it's going to cost a lot. But what is a Western lifestyle? What's that mean? A 70-inch TV? What's that mean anymore? Eating out 3 times a day and all that. It gets expensive, man. I'm telling you something. I was gone for 10 days. I haven't even counted it up. I don't even want to look back on it, man. I spent a lot of money, man. You're talking about eating out 3 times a day. Paying for Airbnb and hotels, the flights, the transportation. If you do that over here every day, you're going to need a lot of money. Yeah, I believe 2,500. I believe somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500, depending on where you live, guys. It's a big difference, man. It's a real big difference, though. You could live in a place like Malaybalay. It's so many nice places in the Philippines that I didn't even know was on the map, man, until I started watching videos. But then we made that trip where I could see these places in person. Like that Malaybalay, I never heard of that place. Okay, we went through the Valencia, not the Valencia by Dumaguete. There's a Valencia in Mindanao. It's not far from Malaybalay. It's Valencia, Malaybalay, then Cagayan City. Man, it's a lot of cities like that. The bustling cities here, man, that you could live in. But we want to live in Manila, you know, we want the Western stuff, so it's going to cost you. He said, so what would make them take a chance with me after 5 or 6 times? That should be the question. Yeah, did you tell them you've been married? He said 2,000 for a single guy is great. I never put a figure on it, Frank, because now you're discouraging people. He's saying don't do it. Because a lot of people, man, their Social Security is not 2,000. You got to have a damn good job, man, to get 2,000 on your Social Security. Okay? Some of my clients, I've seen nurses, they were at 1,700. It's just that it's going to discourage people from even trying. Something's going on if you can live in America for 2,000, because you don't have any more money there than you do here. If you're somehow living there, and you got to be honest, well, how am I living here? Am I living with Section 8 food stamps and stuff like that, subsidized housing? If you can live there, you certainly can live here. She says $2,500 a month is good, but not with a woman with kids. $2,500 for a family is going to be tight. Yeah, if you live the Western lifestyle, but okay, what would that be? Let's just say it's okay, 2,500 at 57 pesos per. You're talking here almost 150,000 pesos a month. You know, that's upper middle class over here, Ruby. That's a lot of money over here. I don't know if you should be able to make it with 2,500 under any circumstances in the Philippines. You're spending a lot of money. I mean, what are y'all spending your money on? Put that over in the comments. I'm interested to know that. He said, how did Booby's birthday go? Man, it was great, man. I went there. She was shocked to see me because she asked me, Booby is so advanced for her age. I'm going to tell you. It's a lot I could tell you. But she told me one day, she said, Daddy, why don't you ever come to my school? She told me. And it knocked me down. I'm like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean why don't I ever come to your school? Lola's there already, you know, but she wants to see me there. So I went yesterday and you should saw her. She was so shocked. But she had a great time. But I just want to know, what are y'all spending y'all money on to spend that much? I know eating out is going to be the most. Because a lot of the single guys, they eat out a lot. I know when I go and hook up with Smiley and them and all, then we always eating out, man. The bills are expensive, man. You know, when you eat at, what's the name of that place? Abaca Bake Shop. That damn TGI Friday. I'm going to tell you another place I like, that Seattle Coffee Shop. Cornelius Mack takes me there before. I like their food. But you're going to come out of there with your pockets on fumes, man. I couldn't see myself eating 3 times a day in Cebu, man. You would need 3,000, 3,500. Yeah, it is. I mean, I wasn't gonna, you know, I believe it or not, y'all think I'm playing dull and May. He said, that's a great financial description, Cal, for your daughter. About 2 years ago, you know, she wants to be a doctor. Okay, but you gotta be a nurse first, I guess. And, you know, so we talked about that. And I promised her, I said, okay, I'll pay for you to go to nursing school. You just do your part. I'll do mine. Because there's just no use. I mean, Maryland's got a teacher's degree. A lot of women have teacher's degree that are on these dating sites. But then, you know, even if you pass the teacher exam, now you got to have a political some type of political ties to get you a job teaching. Unless you're going to teach in one of these little private schools or something. But now you got to have the hookup. So, you know, and all these other side degrees. But the nursing, man, Filipino nurses ain't no joke, man. They bosses. Okay, they're running shit in America. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I remember when I was over here in, I'm trying to think, what year was that? I want to say 2017. Yeah, it was 2017. Something was going on with my debit card, right? I think I didn't tell the bank or something. Something was going on. But my wife's friend, she said, and she just sent me the money. She said, here. I think it was like almost $1,000. You know, she knew I was going to pay her when I got back. But she was a nurse, a RN over there, man. They're bosses. They're writing their ticket, you know. So I don't mind. You know, that's a great investment. Even if I'm not around, she can take care of her mother and, you know, her family, her sisters and everything. Remember, that's my daughter's sister. That's my daughter. But everybody doesn't look at things the way I look at it, man. You know, I play it all the way out. Somebody's like, oh, man, I wouldn't pay for her college degree. That's not my daughter. That's the way you look at it. He said, but Calvin, isn't it cheaper to pay for college by the semester? They give you a bigger discount paying it by the semester up front. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just saying that it comes out to about 120, 140 a month. That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to average it out so people know. Because it's 41,000 per SIM. So 2 SIMs, you know, you're talking about 82,000 for a year of college. Nursing school, that's nothing. It's a little bit over 1,000. What's that? $1,200 a year. And I'm just going to sacrifice. And I told Merlin, we just got to sacrifice for that because it's worth it. Smiley said in 53 Shades, exactly, I don't want to live a rough life in the Philippines. What these guys fail to mention all the time about your medical bills, if you get emergency fund, none of that stuff. Yes, a lot of stuff they leave out. You know, but I wouldn't discourage anybody from trying. Okay, because you're going to have medical bills in your home country. Even if you got insurance. Them co-pays and all of that. The deductibles and all of that. Yeah, but I wouldn't even do a recon. If you come in here for the first time, guys, that's why I'm going to make a video because it's really important. Just come over here and relax and see how you like it. Don't do a recon, man. You're going to waste your time. You're not going to have enough time anyway. Well, you're going to stay over for 3 months? Okay, then you can do the vacation first, and your first half of the time you're there, and then the recon the second half. Because if not, you're over 2 or 3 weeks, man. That recon's going to eat up your time. Traveling is going to eat up your time. I don't want no appointments when I'm over here, man, for the first time. I'm sorry, I don't want it. I don't want anything that's going to get in the way of me having a good time or relaxing. This is for me. I worked all these years. I saved up this money. That's a hell of a trip I'm making. Okay. I'm coming to have a good time, period. Okay. Whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. I'm not on anybody's time but mine. So if I get something as a woman with me, then you going whenever I go. It's my way or the highway. I didn't come over here for you anyway. I'm not trying to be mean. And it's going to be hard for them to understand because they're just sitting back. They're at home. They're living their life like normal. You're the one doing everything, paying for everything, doing all of that, going through all that stress and strain. Come on. You know, have some fun, man. Hey, Dave, man, thanks for that super chat. It's my buddy. I met him, 3 times, Dave? He said, hey, brother Cal, how you doing? 2 great topics. Wait, Let me get this. I'm sorry. Here. Married twice, was open to the possibility, man, of a Panay, but now it got me thinking. Also hoping to find out that sweet spot to live with a reasonable budget coming soon. Yeah, man, I know it's weighing heavy on you because you actually met a great young lady. Now, of course, I'm not behind the scenes with you. I don't see everything that you see, but I know it's got you thinking. Because you're like, wow, I got this young, attractive woman, but how long have you talked to her about it? Will she accept a live-in? And maybe just let her know, hey, I've been married twice, and the pain that comes with divorce. People, we're in denial, man. Some guy told me, he says, oh yeah, you can't say all marriages end in divorce. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the divorce rates are so high, man, that it's almost inevitable. And I asked him because he said, yeah, it's my first marriage. I said, yeah, but how many relationships you had? See, that's when he got crickets. Because a marriage is nothing more than a relationship with a damn piece of paper. As long as you're part of the relationship, it's going to be in trouble, is what I was telling him. He acts like it's, we always say it's the other person's fault. And then they're saying it's your fault. And the rates are really higher because when you're separated, that doesn't count. That counts as you still being married. He said, you don't want to be a 3-time loser. But this guy, go in my comments under that. It's a short I made out of my live stream when we were talking about that. And he says, the Filipino woman, she checked out all the boxes with perfection. She's perfect, right? And I don't argue with him. I wish him good luck. But I'm just saying, man, you've been in relationships before and they failed. You're the common denominator. He says, I see on YouTube, he said, when a person is thinking about divorce, going through the marriage, I think the mindset should be reconsidered. By the way, what was he saying? No, I'm saying, okay, Jacob Tanjay made a great analogy. He said, if your flight over here to the Philippines, if there was a 50% chance of it crashing, would you take the flight? Because that's what the rate of divorce is for new marriages. Okay, and if you get married again, it goes up to 60%. The third time is 75 to 80%. Then after that, there is no figures. They said, F it. We ain't gonna waste our time studying that. That's why I was telling Robert, he was in uncharted territory. This thing's like, man, why are you even getting married? What's the point when you've been divorced 6 times? Okay, so I was saying, why not go on and iron out the terms of the divorce before you get married? Some people do it, they call it a prenup. But they're breaking up these prenups. They're not abiding by them. We were just talking, we're not saying that's going to happen, but because Robert said, he said, I went into the marriages, I never thought that we would get a divorce. And that's what I was thinking. We never think about it because it's like the elephant in the room. Meathead said, Calvin, what city would you recommend for the guy coming to see if he would like the Philippines? I would visit for about 3 weeks. Yeah, I would stay in Expat Alley because it's it's a steep learning curve over here. So you don't want to come over here and, jump from the frying pan to fire. You don't want to go right to the province. But I would say Angeles City, Cebu, Manila, Davao, Cagayan de Oro, any of those major cities, I would. Because somewhere close to those major cities is some type of entertainment, either if you like the beaches or whatever it is, so you can have a good time. But I would just come, meathead. I wouldn't have any expectations or anything like that, only to have a good time, only to do whatever it is you want to do for 3 weeks. I wouldn't make it a exploratory trip. I wouldn't try to find out if I could live here or not when I came. I would just come to party, relax, and have a good time. But you can't go wrong if you stay in Expat Alley. Dumaguete, because you got Sikiwa Island right across from you. But, you asked me, so my top 3 is going to be Davao. And, Angeles City or Cebu would be 1A, 1B, and then Metro Manila. They're going to offer you everything that you're used to having at home. He said 50% do end up in a divorce. That's not a good percentage when you're giving up half. But we go into it, we thinking we're going to be the exception. It's not going to happen. That's why even the guy he must not have really watched the video when I said there's somebody watching now who's comfortable in their marriage. They've been married 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. He had been married 10 years, and they think, oh, I'm safe. It doesn't apply to me, man. It can fall off at any time. I was married for 16. We were married for 18, but after 16 years, it fell off the cliff. I mean, that's a long time. You're never even thinking of a divorce. And all of a sudden, you run into a brick wall. I was just saying, be prepared for it. We don't even prepare for it. That's why it hurts so much. Some guys do try to come up with a prenup or whatever. We don't even prepare for it. We're way living in some type of fantasy world. You're talking about having emergency funds, when you move overseas. Well, have an emergency fund when you get married. Emergency plan. He said, why get a book when you can get the library? He said, hit the like button if you haven't. Conversation is so thought-provoking, you might have forgot. Yeah, guys, hit the like button, man. Give me some support. I mean, subscribe if you like my content, man. I've made over 2,000 videos. There's something in there that you like, okay? A lot of times it's the messenger, man. You can't tell me I'm not putting out good information. I am. But a lot of times I don't like him. And we got to get away from that. And then, I don't like his delivery. But I'm looking at the same videos y'all looking at. That's the reason I started my channel. I'm like, nobody's talking to me. The Philippines they're describing is not the Philippines where I live. I mean, everything was sugary, even now, but YouTube pushes that kind of stuff. They push it out there. Their agenda is different, man. YouTube has an agenda. He said, Cal, do you think some guys are basically settling for a long-term call girl in some relationships? Well, I mean, boy, that's a slippery slope right there, man. Now you said I asked you a tough question. That's a tough question, but believe it or not, I was thinking the same thing last night. But if you said that out loud, people would take that the wrong way. But if you broke it down, you would say, well, that's exactly what I'm doing. If they're right, if they're saying if the money's gone, she's gone, then she's only there for the money. If you believe that wholeheartedly 100%, then what else can you call that? Okay, what is the difference then? If it's, if it's both for sale, I guess it's just because they say they're not. You know, I'm not a bar girl. But some guys are just settling, period, man. They're just so happy to have somebody. They've been disconnected for so long. I said this at the beginning, that we don't care what we get. You come over and you see what some guys are paying for, and I'm like, dude, you could have got that at home. But see, that's the brutal honesty that I don't know that, even though I say a lot of stuff out loud, I don't know if I would make that determination, man, on camera, because it's too deep for people, man. Even though that's just really the brutal, honest truth, they're not ready for that kind of truth right there. Because it's really no different. If you're paying for the pussy, you're paying for it. I mean, you're just paying for it. I mean, the only difference is they're going to say, well, I don't work in a bar. But I said a long time ago that these dating sites are nothing but online nightclubs and online bars. That's all they are, man. I mean, it's basically the same thing, really. And people get mad at you for saying that. I'm sorry. Pumpkin Joe Philippine Experience, welcome to the stream. He says 1,000 is doable for the single, not desirable for a man. You'll end up supporting that partner, family, and perhaps have a kid. 1,000 would be scraping by at that point. Yeah, I mean, even for a single man, you're not gonna be doing a whole lot. I mean, just say half of it is your rent and living expenses, immigration. Now you got 500 left per month. I guess you could go to the movie once or twice a month. It's gonna be hard to do. It's gonna be hard to do. Well, they probably do in their mind, in their mind, because I am rich. It's relative. I am rich, compared to their salary, but they obviously know that I don't flaunt it or anything like that. That's the first thing that comes out of their mind. They know I'm humble. And, because of my past keeps me humble. My drug history keeps me humble. But yeah, but there's rich people here far behind anything I've got. But I guess they would consider me, rich among a lot of people. They certainly consider me like a celebrity, which I don't know. People think, they look at bloggers here. Well, bloggers, I guess, I don't know if you got a little notoriety, even in the West, they consider you like a celebrity. But yeah, they certainly think I'm a celebrity. So, they think, oh, he's a celebrity, he must have a whole lot of money. But yeah, compared to them, I am rich. I mean, if they earned 150,000 pesos a month, they consider that rich. He says, I feel like a lot of YouTubers are just blowing smoke, but I appreciate your directness. I feel like you're always being honest. Well, thank you, man. Most vloggers, they're really doing the best they can. I think they put us, the standard that they hold us to, man, is so high. We're not journalists or anything like that. We're just trying to give people, information the best we can. I'm not going to tell you anything that I haven't experienced or haven't seen with my own eyes. But yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, they hold us to a high standard, Marty. I mean, they really think we're some type of journalist or something. Especially me. I got to put out Ed Bradley type blogs, or nobody watches them. He said, I think that's the divide. I couldn't see myself doing that now, but at 65 and lonely maybe. Yeah, but see, you never know, Blizzard of Blood, Blizzard of Broad. This is the problem. This is why there's no sense in arguing about that. Because how do you really know if the woman is with you, and, you know, and whether you love her or not? You just got to be happy within yourself, because you're never going to really know. Especially when women are going to do the same thing to you and for you that someone that you feel who loves you would do. There's just no way you're going to know. So if you decide that you're going to deal with a woman over here in Southeast Asia, you don't have any choice. I don't care how old you are. The 18 to 80, okay, money is all that grieves that theory. They only do that because, you know, even if she loves you, okay, you still got to spend everything. She doesn't have anything. So, you know, we can fool ourselves. The reality is, women that we date over here don't have a lot of money, even if they got a good job. Not a lot. You know, that's just the fact. I'm almost done. Get out of here. So you're paying for it. You're paying for it. Yeah, but everybody's budget is different. It's you know, I hate to have those. I'm very tender. Uh-huh. Can I have what? Hmm? Can you do what? Yeah, cut the haircut on in that. He said, I live in California. I make around $7,000 a month. My home's almost paid off. All my living costs is around $5,500 a month. Wow. That's a lot of money, man. Yeah, 2,500 or more is great in the Philippines. Yeah. See, that's what I was saying earlier when I read that post on brothers and sisters in Thailand. People are eating that up for a 12,000 baht per month condo, because they're coming from the East Coast and the West Coast, and they're saying, man, I'm paying 2,000 a month. 400 is nothing. To me, because I've lived in Southeast Asia for so long, you know, $400 or $500 a month is way beyond anything I would pay, because I've gotten used to living over here. But that's cheap compared to somebody just stepping foot in Southeast Asia. But yeah, when it comes to, you know, the stark reality of dating over here is really, it's the unspoken agreement, man. It's just how it is. You got to know that the women over here don't have a whole lot of money, man. You know, and there's a reason young, attractive women are dating older men. Many of us, our better days are behind us. I mean, we're in some type of denial. I mean, the only time you're really gonna meet a woman who may be compatible with you is in your home country. Meeting a woman's gonna be compatible with you and probably gonna love you for you. You're probably gonna find her in your home country. You're not gonna find her over here. That's just the real life about it. Okay, you got very little in common. All right, over here, you know, but this is the lies we tell ourselves. You know, that I can find a woman over here who just wants me for me. It's almost impossible. It's almost impossible, man. Does it happen on down the line that you can show her, hey, I'm a good man, and just the way you treat her makes her fall in love with you? Probably. But somebody like me, I'm 61 years old. She probably loves me like she loves Curly. You know, but it's okay, because I don't need somebody outside of me to love me. I just want to set up my life where I'm happy. And if it's a woman there, okay, fine. If it's not, I'm still going to be happy. I'm responsible for my happiness. But for some reason, we don't get that memo. That's what I was talking about today on the video. We think that when we come over here, we're going to find a woman who's going to be the answer to all our questions, the solution to our problems. It's not going to be true. Unless that's all you're missing in your life. You got everything else going on. You got it all together. All it's missing is a woman, and then she's still gonna want you for your money. He said a first timer testing out the Philippines for a 3-year stint was $2,500 monthly budget needs. How much lump sum cushion to live comfortably? That's a hard question. I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question. What's up, Angelo? See, I brought Angelo up earlier. He thought he was spending more money than he was. He's been tracking his spending. And he said he was spending, he showed me, it's averaging about $1,900 a month. And he lives a damn good Western lifestyle, basically. There's some things, of course, that he's missing, you know. And he says my cost of living is practically the same here as it is at home. I'm really close to moving back home, though. I'll let you know if I do. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you know, that's the whole thing. At least you came over here and saw it for yourself. Yeah, younger women have always dated older men. But this much older, you're talking 20, 30, 40 years different. He said exactly right about the rental purchase prices. I thought Cebu was cheap compared to the USA. Negros was cheaper and Mindanao was cheapest. Yeah, 10,000 was comfortable for me. Yeah, it's those budgets, man. I won't discuss them, man. It's just it makes my head hurt because you keep saying the same thing over and over and over, and people don't get it. It's possible to live off that kind of money. Whatever money you think you know you can live off, you probably can over here if you're gonna make the sacrifices. It's all over the place, though. Where you gonna live? How you gonna live? Who you gonna live with? What are you willing to sacrifice? You're only gonna know that when you come over here. I'm only gonna confuse you if I make another video on top of all the other videos. Because unless I'm doing what Angelo Habib is doing, which he's the only one that I've seen do that, he counted every peso that he was spending. He got an app where he's able to do that. It's not a real budget then. It's not a true picture of what you're spending. Because everybody, they're just guessing. You forget about money you spent at the market, and maybe you gave somebody some money on the street, or just your girlfriend might have spent some money while you're asleep, buying some old cheap ass shoes around the corner on the street. He's tracking every peso. That would be a true budget. But that's Angelo. Yeah, but how many of us are really dating women who have it going on over here? I mean, people just don't want to be honest, man. There's just nothing wrong with, they have a whole lot more. It's a trade-off. Evidently, they have something to offer or we wouldn't be here. But money's not one of them. Money's certainly not one of them. And until guys get that in their mind, I don't care what you look like. Money's in her head. I don't care how old you are. It's in her head. A better life, a better lifestyle. Because I don't have it. So if you coming over here to date me, these are the requirements. This is what's going on. But we're in the now. You don't have to be older for that to come into play. 18 to 80. If you old enough to fill out that visa and apply for the visa and qualify and all that, they want you, man. He said, when you gonna make a new vlog, Pumpkin Joe? Yeah, he said, I'm blessed. My better half is my best friend. I'm 70, she's 49. Yeah. But she with you if she's from over here somewhere, Jim, she's with you for the reason all the rest of them is with us. You're not the exception. Okay? And all that is fine and dandy, guys. I mean, get out of the denial. Women don't want you because you're some 70-year-old Tom Cruise. She wants you because she's struggling over here. It's hard to earn a living over here, guys. I mean, it's crazy even keep saying this over and over and over. Do you really know how tough it is over here? Okay? I don't think you do. That's why y'all keep saying that stuff. Oh, she's with me, not for my money. But we're the best of friends. Oh, if I'm too young to do that right now. If you're fooling with a woman over here now, money's at the root of it. And it's not like over in your home country. Oh, women want you for your money. It's not true. It's different. The circumstances make it different. Okay? They're on the dating site because they figured it out. This is my way out. It's the only way I'm going to escape the suffocating poverty that I'm in right now. Okay? It doesn't make them bad. It really makes them smart. They have a way out. The men over here don't. You better have a damn good degree. You better have a good ass man you're working with. Be doubly strong mentally. Or you don't have nothing coming. All you got to do is come over here and look at the men, the same age as the woman you're dating. It's a whole different reality. They don't have a dating site that they can go on and choose somebody to rescue them from their misery. But because the woman lays down and kisses you and be your cheerleader and all of that, you keep on being fooled. Just accept it for what it is and go on with your life. Don't keep living in darkness and fooling yourself. You're never going to be happy. Don't put your happiness in her hands anyway. You're responsible for that. Build a life, bring her along with you. If it crashes, so what? I still got a good life. But don't keep fooling yourself. Don't keep thinking you're the exception. It just makes the rule. That just makes the rule correct. But every time you bring that up, somebody puts that out there. Well, you don't need to be dating over here, certainly. Okay? I'm sorry. He said in July, I spent a total of about $1,714 US. That includes rent, utilities, hanging out with Calvin, groceries, outside food, transportation, shopping purchases. It includes everything. See? And you got to see his lifestyle to know. But he lives in Mindanao, remember? Pumpkin Joe is right. It is the cheapest, most affordable place to live if you want to live in Mindanao. He happens to live in Davao. It's just that, you know, when you come over to the Philippines or anywhere, any new country, you got to let the dust settle and you got to look around and see how people are moving. And there's two economies in the Philippines, okay? Otherwise, the locals, there's no way they could survive. The closer you get to that local economy, if you can keep in the middle, you're going to be fine. We go to the market all the time. See, a lot of Western people, they don't go to the market for some reason. They get all their stuff from the grocery store. Well, guess what? The fish at the grocery store is 3 times higher. The same lapu that you're getting for $3.50 in the market gonna cost you $1,100 per kilo at the grocery store. Yeah, enjoy your life, man. Don't worry about whether she loves you for real or not. This shit's getting old, man. You know, we all in open relationships over here. You stop spending that money. Okay, you close that wallet. Okay, as long as you open that wallet, she's gonna open the legs. Okay, and give you the love and the attention you need. You shut that wallet. I don't have any money to begin with. You ain't got nothing coming over here, man. It's the number one reason they get on those sites and lure you over here. You're being lured over here with dreams and all of that. Hey, you're welcome. I'm just trying to shake some people up. It's okay though. If you okay with it, as long as you know that's what's happening, I'm okay with it. Because I see what's really going on. I could be home, okay, dating 60-year-old women, and they probably were going to be taking me out and spending their money on me. But I'm not going to be happy. So it's a trade-off. I'd rather be over here with a fit, feminine, fine Filipino woman, okay? Because she can only spend however much money I've got. I don't have a whole lot of money. But I'd rather do that, okay, than the other alternative, the motherboard, okay? Because I'm going to be happy no matter where I go, but I just get tired of people talking about, oh, the woman, is the exception and all that, or what they're not going to do over here. Well, don't come over here. These women aren't stupid. They're quite intelligent, really, because a lot of them, they don't have the education we got. And they run in circles around us because they know we living in a delusion. They're living in reality. By the time a lot of us get over here, we're no longer living in a real world. Say this again. He said, if you come to the Philippines and live like you from your hometown, you're defeating the purpose. Thank you. Yeah, that's rich beyond anybody. Okay, now here's Marilyn right here. She's got a shot. Let me ask you this. If somebody earns 240,000 pesos a month here, would you consider them rich?
Yep.
She said, yes. You're rich, man. But you don't even have to earn that. The Philippine Statistics Authority says, what do they say, 190, I want to say 191,000 pesos a month, you're considered rich. That's a lot of money, man.
Of course, that's a lot of money here.
Yeah, he said this at the grocery store is all 3 times older than the wet market fish. Yeah, believe me, it's true. The eggs, everything. But we won't go to the market, Philippine, Funky Joe's Philippine Experience. That's one of the sacrifices you got to make. I don't know why we think we're too good. All our fish comes from there. All our vegetables and fruit comes from there. If you go to the grocery store, man, it's expensive. And that's where you spend a lot of your money. We spend enough at the grocery store. We're probably going to do anywhere from 7 to 10 days, at least. I'm not flying over there just to turn around and come back. I told Merlin that. Vietnam. He said, I'm still tuning in, just editing video and soaking up all this game from these originals. Oh, you got a YouTube channel? What is it, man? Are you just doing it for yourself? Yeah, fish is expensive, man. Maya. All that you can get in. I mean, you get the top of the line fish that you can't even find anywhere else. You get it down in Zamboanga. It's super cheap, man. I mean, right out of the ocean. The Philippines is surrounded by ocean. Walk about Philippines and say, Calvin, I can't stop laughing at everything you're saying about relationships in the Philippines. It's true. I mean, it just is. It's just the way it is. It doesn't make it bad. It's just reality. But we don't live in reality. By the time you get over here, man, your head is full of fantasy. That's what the video was about today. We created this fantasy, this other world life about women over here and stuff. And that's why we get flipped upside down when we come over here. To think one of these beautiful young women, attractive like they are, is with you because of who you are, doesn't mean you're not a good person, man, but it just don't work like that over here. That's always been the case for hundreds of years already. He said, a fair exchange is no robbery. Now, let me say this before I get over here. I only agree with that in one aspect. Okay, if you're two, okay, if money is if money is your value, okay, and her youth and beauty is her value, then that's the fair exchange. So if you're two and you come over and you got a 15 wallet, then there's no shame in trying to go for a 15. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but you better have a 15 wallet. Don't come over here with a 2 wallet and trying to get a 15. It's not going to work. The guys that I see with the nice looking women, the older you get, the more money you better have. That's just how it is over here. They got money, man. They got good money, man. There's guys over here who are rich. They're rich in any part of the world. So imagine coming to the Philippines. I'm talking about they're millionaires. Not one, not two, not three. There's 4 guys that's been in my house who are millionaires, guys. Okay? And they got damn pieces. And they anywhere from 58 to 88. Okay, but the bottom line is they got the money. These guys are millionaires. Yeah, 190. That's what it is. That's what it is. Thank you, Jim. It's 190. It's not 191. It's 190. But we got guys coming over here, man. They in such denial. Like, dude, you're not in America. You're not in England and France and all them places. You're in the Philippines. And once you realize that, you're going to be better off. Not in America, man. The same rules don't apply over here. You know, I'm sorry, man. You know, just be okay with it. I go somewhere else. I'm okay with it. Because I'm going to spend money anyway. I'm going to live good anyway. And just because I got a woman next to me, it ain't going to muddy the water. But thank y'all so much for your super chats, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Show, especially my members, man, and everything. I really appreciate it, man. I'll be in Dumagetti on Wednesday, getting my extension. I'm not going to have any problems because I'm going through JRC consultancy. Okay, I don't have to look at a immigration officer. I could go right up to Bacala, but I'd have to look at the immigration officer. It's not going to do any good anyway. If they want to harass me, they could, but they're not going to do that. It's always been at their discretion whether or not to extend your visa. You think because you got a 13A or SRV that they can't cancel that? They can't. Nothing's 100% guaranteed. But until we get into our minds about relationships over here, man, you guys are going to be getting, that's the reason why we can't flip the script. We are worst enemy. He said, I'll be part of the Murphy family. Yeah, she's right. Go there first thing in the morning as early as you can when the stuff is fresh, because that's when everybody goes, really. Yeah, the more money you got, the finer woman you're going to have. If not, somebody else going to come and grab her. But the guys that I see over here with the real big money, they got the nicer women. So what? That's just how it is. What else can you expect? Okay, you 73 with a pot belly. Okay, you need the blue pill. You wear the diaper to bed, but you want a damn piece over here for nothing. Y'all guys are crazy, man. That's right. That's true. That's right. But you better have, if there's money, she knows you got money. Otherwise, she's not going to say that. It's unspoken because you don't say it. If we said out loud what the unspoken agreement entails, it'd be cringy. That's why we don't talk about it. It's unspoken. We already know. But take care, y'all. Yeah, JRC all the way, man. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. And I'll see you next time. Don't do anything stupid, man. Don't get on that plane coming over here thinking she wants you for your good looks and intelligence. Bring your wallet with you. No matter what these gurus are telling you, you're going to need it. Because she might have everything else that you need, but she don't have no money.